Welcome, Queen. Have you ever been at work and noticed one coworker intentionally avoiding another coworker? I have. In fact, the coworker doing the avoiding asked me, "Could you please open the other entrance for me so I can use it?" And they used it to walk all the way around the long way to their space to avoid another coworker, but that coworker didn't know it. So I want to share with you that if you operate like this, if you feel the need to operate like this is creating and keeping relational conflict alive at your workplace, which is simply a disagreement within yourself or with someone else that negatively impacts your quality of life. And that's why today I'm going to be sharing with you how to shut down overbearing, over friendly, over talkative, over emotional coworkers politely. Now, why these four? Because these are the four that I see that people typically struggle with at work. They have issues with these types of coworkers. Now, the overbearing person. This person is domineering, they are controlling, it is their way or the highway. The over friendly person, you know, Webster said that's not a word, but we using it today. They did say over familiar, which means this person is excessively informal or excessively friendly. Then there is the over talkative person, abnormally talkative. I mean, they will talk your ears off from here to kingdom come, so much so that you can't get your work done. Then we have the over emotional person. Webster's was not giving me enough, so I went to Cambridge and it shared that the over emotional person is a person who has feelings that are too strong or they express their emotions in too strong a way. So if you can relate to crossing paths with any of these four types of people, this video is for you. Now, if not, you could share this with a friend, or you could keep watching if you like, but I want to be clear that those are the four that I'm going to give you a solution for. Now, for everyone else, I want you to think about the purpose of work. If I ask you, what is the purpose of work? What would you say to me? Take a moment, truly, take a moment. If you like, I invite you to write your answer in the comment section below. And the reason I'm asking or sharing with you to do that is because I want you to be able to see what you state is the purpose of work. Because I'm going to share it with you from my perspective, but I want you to be able to physically see what you say is the purpose of work. So here it is, from my lens to your ears. The purpose of work is to physically or virtually to complete tasks, assignments, or projects for an individual or organization to earn compensation. The purpose of work is to physically or virtually complete tasks, assignments, or projects for an individual or organization to earn compensation. If I extend that, I would say the purpose of work is to physically or virtually complete tasks, assignments, or projects to earn compensation. And depending on the tasks, projects, and assignments that you are responsible to do or that you do, they may or may not impact the company's overall mission, goals, or vision. Now, with that definition of mine, we're going to proceed with the rest of today's session. So just keep that in mind as I'm sharing with you for today. Now, before I get into the solution, let's be sure that you are not violating one of the workplace relational no-nos. There are 3 of them that I see that sometimes people are violating, and then they have issues with the four types of people that I shared: the overbearing, the over friendly, the over talkative, and the over emotional. So, workplace relational no number one: conversations for physical stimulation, aka midday afternoon rendezvous or red light midnight special sessions. You sleeping with this person. This is what people tend to not realize, that when you have intimate relationships with coworkers, the issues from that relationship come to the workplace. You can try to avoid it, but typically they come to the workplace. And now you have gotten what you wanted for this person, and you're acting brand new because you through. And that person, clearly, if you're having issues with them, you're trying to avoid them, they want to continue. And there's no easy way to say this, but you got yourself into this situation with this person. And so it's going to require you to get yourself out of it. So avoiding them is not a solution, because typically you avoiding them will cause them to feel some type of way, and then your personal issues will become workplace issues, because you're going to end up in a heated situation with this person in the workplace, and you don't want that. Handle it. Now, workplace relational no number two: conversation for dissemination. Meaning, you have engaged in conversation with this person just so you can share their business. You wanted to get the tea. You like getting the tea. So that's why you talk to them, or you continue to talk to them. And now their business is office gossip. It's parking lot news. It's on the phone after work hours gossiping. Yeah, workplace relational no number two. That's bad business. Because now, to a certain extent, this person trusts you, and they really shouldn't. Workplace relational no number three: conversation for weaponization. Now, this is worse than conversation for dissemination. Conversation for weaponization means that you have created a safe space with this person. So they think you are a safe person, and they are sharing not just their personal business, but details that they typically would not share with anyone, unaware that you are being manipulative so that you can have leverage from them to use over them or against them for your own underhanded motives. Bad business. That's workplace relational no number three. So if you are engaged in any of those three, the solution that I'm going to share is not a best fit for you. For you, what I would recommend is a one-on-one session where I could tailor a solution to your situation, because depending on what all you have engaged in and what all this person has shared with you, that is going to depend on the tailored solution that you need to be a best fit to resolve the issue that you're having at work now with this person. For everyone else, now if you want to keep watching, you can keep watching. You can keep watching, or you can share with a friend who needs to hear. But I just want to be clear that the solution that I'm providing is not intended to cover those areas. Now, for everyone else, here we go. What I would recommend, need to have a conversation with this person. I know it's going to be uncomfortable. That's okay. Let's go through the process of what that conversation is going to look like. So, I recommend when you see this person, approach them. hey. Now, with that hey, some people don't like the word hey. That has been brought to my attention. So if you know that about your coworker, don't use the word hey. Giving you an example. Okay. So, hey, Sam, there's something important that I would like to share with you and speak to you about that's going to make the workplace a better place for you and I. Do you have time when you are available to speak with me? Boom. You have been direct, you have been clear. They know what you want to speak to them about, and they know that it is important. So, wait for them to give you a time that they are free and available. Once you all confirm the times that you are both free and available, keep the date. Please don't cancel it if you don't have to. Don't let your nerves get the best of you and say, I changed my mind. You need to address the situation. If you won't address it, you cannot expect for change to take place. So again, keep the date. Make sure wherever you meet, it is a public place. Why? Because you want to have the freedom, you want to have the ability, you want to have the power to get up and leave once the conversation is over, or if the conversation does not go well. Remember, you are avoiding them. So you want to create boundaries anyway. And this is a great way to keep boundaries or set boundaries if you never had them to begin with. So, once you arrive, the day of the conversation, be direct. Hey, again, remember what I told you about hey. Hey, Sam, thank you for meeting with me. I'm glad that you were open to us speaking. I'd like to share with you. Now, I'm going to use an example, but you know the issue that you have. So use that issue. I'm going to use the issue of a coworker who just keeps frequenting my office. I mean, she just keeps showing up, or he just keeps showing up. This person, they could be either the over friendly or the over talkative. I mean, but they just keep coming to your office, or my office rather, disrupting my day. I can't get my work done. It's an issue. Okay, so here we go. Hey Sam, I'm glad that you are open to speak with me. I wanted to share with you how you come into my office impromptu throughout the day, several times a day, is impacting my ability to get my work done. I feel distracted and disrupted by your frequent coming to my office. Going forward, I recommend that if you need to speak with me and it's not work related, if you pass by my office and you see that I'm working, that you don't stop, that you come back at a time when I am free. Wait for their response, because you need to give them the space and opportunity to respond. Maybe they were unaware that their frequent office visits were a distraction and a disruption. So give them the opportunity to respond. If they respond favorably, great. If they don't respond favorably, not so great. But reiterate your position and let them know, hey, I understand that you don't agree with me, and that's fine that you disagree with my position. However, still my position is unchanged. And so going forth, now you need to set the boundary of what you are going to do to create a boundary for you to eliminate or minimize their behavior for being an issue for you at work. So going forward, if you come by to my office, we're using the same example. This person keeps just coming to the office. They just chatterbox. So going forward, if you come to my office to speak with me and it is not work related, I'm going to politely ask that you come back when I am free to have a impromptu conversation with you that's not work related. That's very clear. It's very concise because you're letting this person know, hey, I cannot stop your feet from walking to my office, but I don't have to keep engaging with you in conversation that's not work related when you come to my office. Now, again, this person already has shown you at this point, if you had to get to this stage of the conversation, they have shown you that they don't agree with your position and you're not asking for their agreement. Because do you remember the definition I gave for you at work about what is the purpose of work? There's a purpose for you being at work. And this person just wanting to share and chit and chat all the day long is not part of it. You don't owe them that. In fact, you don't owe them anything. They are your coworkers. Now, if you're involved in one of them, one of the relational workplace no-nos, this don't apply. This don't apply because depending on which one you're involved in, you've created some issues for yourself. But again, if you are not involved in any of the workplace relational no-nos I shared with you, then it's time to be clear, concise, and set boundaries and let the person know that you are going to hold them to the boundary. Now, this person going to try you. They might try you. So if they come to your office after this conversation, well, let me finish the conversation. Now, once you share with them the alternative, if they disagree, again, say it, meaning explain what you're going to do in response to them disagreeing with what you've shared, and then ask them, is there anything about what I've shared with you that is not clear to you? Why are you asking that? Because you don't want to walk away from the conversation and they be unclear. Because what we are doing here is we are setting a boundary for them and for you. So you're telling them or sharing with them a boundary. But at the same time, you want them to be clear on what your boundary is. Because sometimes people violate our boundaries because they weren't clear on what our boundaries were. You're not leaving room for that excuse. So once it's clear, again, thank them for speaking with you, even if they didn't agree with you. Because remember, when you set boundaries and you maintain boundaries, you don't need the person who you're setting the boundary with or deciding to maintain a boundary with to agree. The boundary is for you to uphold. So that's why I say they might try you. So now that you've done that, again, greet them, thank them for the conversation, and wish them well for the rest of their day. Get up and leave. You done. Now, if they try you, that's when you got to maintain the boundary. They don't have to maintain the boundary. They could hear the boundary, be clear on the boundary, and still say, I'm going anyway. I want to say something. But when they show up, and remember, this is my example. You might have another issue. Use your issue. When they show up, wanting to chit and chat, if I'm working, it's my responsibility. I have to be accountable. I have to take accountability and now maintain a boundary. Hi, I see that you've come to my office, even though I've shared with you prior that if you come to my office and I'm busy working, that I will not have an impromptu conversation with you that is not work related. I need you to come back at another time. Right now I'm working on whatever you're working on or whatever I'm working on. I'm working on a project for management. I need you to leave at this time. I'm not available to talk. There's nothing wrong with saying that. The issue is we've been told it's rude. But if this person keeps coming to your office, in my example, they are rude, even though they don't think that they are rude. It is rude to keep disrupting someone who's trying to get something done that's work related. I just shared with you the purpose of work. This person in my example, they just want to talk about something that has nothing to do with work. You keep not getting your work done, and eventually the supervisor or your supervisor is going to ask you what the problem is. You keep missing deadlines. Them just wanting to share this, that, and the third about their life or something random, that don't pay your bills. Think about it. So again, set the boundary, maintain the boundary, even if this person does not agree, even if this person tries to step over the boundary. It's on you now. And if need be, then you may need to take this situation to the supervisor and explain and have a meeting with the supervisor about how this person is carrying on. If this person is a supervisor, I'm sure that person has a supervisor. You know, there is a chain of command. And sometimes you have to work the chain of command to get things done in a professional way. Is it comfortable? No. But sometimes it's necessary. And you must be willing to do what's necessary for you. Because it's like this. To work well in the workplace, we must inform coworkers of when they violate our professional standards. And when they violate them, we must speak up, not retreat. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you that 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you can change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing now.